Now, yesterday we had discussed about the HCF and LCM of algebraic expressions. So today we'll continue with that same part. We'll have some more examples so that the topic is clear to you all. As you can see here, I have taken two expressions for which you have to calculate the HCF and LCM. So first of all, what we do, the first part of this is, it is x squared minus 3x plus 2. We are going to factorize these two expressions which are given to us. So we'll factorize these. Let us have the first expression, that is x squared minus 3x plus 2. In order to factorize it, you can split the middle term. So this is x squared. Here you will have, in place of minus 3x, as minus 2x and minus x plus 2. Now this x is common here. So you have x minus 2, and here it will be minus 1 common, making it x minus 2. So what are the two factors which we get? It is x minus 2 multiplied by x minus 1. These are the two factors of the first expression. Second expression, if you see, first of all, here in all the three terms, the variable x is there. So we will have x squared common, making it, in the bracket, you will be left with x squared plus x minus 6. Now here you can further factorize this part. So x squared will be kept as it is. Factorizing this part, the two factors, the two numbers which we need are plus 3 and minus 2. So plus x will be written as plus 3x minus 2x minus 6. We are factorizing it by splitting the middle term. So this will be now x squared, taking x common, x plus 3, and here minus 2 common, it will be x plus 3. So in this expression we have three factors. One is x squared, the second is x plus 3, and the third is x minus 2. So first of all, the first step which is there, that is completed, that we have done the factorization of these. Now comes about HCF. If you are asked about the HCF, first write down the HCF. In HCF, what you will do? We will take the common factor with the least power. But here they are only with power 1. So common factor is x minus 2 and x minus 2. So the HCF of this becomes x minus 2. Secondly, if LCM is asked, then the LCM will be equal to, what we do in LCM? First we take the common factor and we write it once. Here there is the power 1, so we are writing it only as it is. And in case if it had been in powers, then in LCM we take the greatest power. Suppose here it had been x minus 2 raised to the power 2, whereas here if it had been x minus 2 raised to the power 3, then we had to write x minus 2 raised to the power 3 in the LCM. So here in LCM, now what we do, we first write the common factor. After writing the common factor, whichever factors are left out, we are going to add them also. X minus 1 is there, this will be written here. X plus 3 is there, that will also be written here. And even x squared is there, that will also be the part of LCM. So this is the LCM of these two expressions. We'll take more questions based on these HCF and LCM. Say the next question to be taken can be x squared minus 7x plus 12. This is one expression given to you. The second expression given to you is x squared minus 10x plus 21. The third expression given to you is say x squared plus 2x minus 15. So these are the three expressions given to you, and you are asked about their HCF. That what is the HCF of this? So here, what we are going to do, we will factorize each of the expressions. So x squared minus 7x plus 12. If you take up this, splitting the middle term, product needed is 12, sum needed is minus 7. So splitting the middle term will be splitted into minus 4x minus 3x and plus 12. So further, if you solve it, you get x common in the first two terms. So you have x minus 4 minus 3 common here. You have x minus 4. So the factors here which you get are x minus 4 and x minus 3. Same way, factorize the second expression. Again, splitting the middle term. The sum product needed is 21 and the sum needed is minus 10. So what will be the two numbers in which it is to be split up? Minus 10 will be split as minus 7 and minus 3. So it is x squared minus 7x minus 3x plus 21. Further, x is common here. So it is x minus 7 and minus 3 is common. So it is x minus 7. And the two factors which you get here are x minus 7 multiplied by x minus 3. These are the two factors of the second expression. Similarly, factorize the third expression. If you factorize this, you have here x squared. Product needed is minus 15, sum needed is plus 2. So it will be x squared minus plus 5x minus 3x and minus 15. From the first two terms, x is common. In the next two terms, minus 3 is common. So taking x common here, you will have x plus 5, and taking minus 3 common, you will be left with x plus 5. So again, the two factors which you get here, they are x plus 5 and x minus 3. So our first step is done. That is, we have factorized all the three expressions. We got the factors. Now comes if you are asked about the HCF. In case HCF is asked, the highest common factor, you have to take the common factors which is there in all these three. So the common factor is x minus 3, only one is there. So HCF of these three expressions is x minus 3. On the other hand, if you are suppose asked what is the LCM, then what do we do? The common factor will be written once. Along with this, we will write down all the remaining factors, that is x minus 4, x minus 7 and x plus 5. So this is the LCM of it. You have to just make sure that the factorization which you do, that should be correct. If your factors are wrong, then the remaining part of the solution will also be wrong. So try to factorize them very with a proper way so that you get exact result. Let us have one more question which says if ux, a polynomial which is x minus 1 whole squared, and a second polynomial is there, that is v of x, which is equal to x squared minus 1. Here you have to check the relation, that is LCM multiply HCF is equal to ux multiply vx. So this is the relation which you have to check whether this relation is true or not. So here now we need the LCM and we need the HCF. So first of all, we are going to find it out. So the first expression which is given to us, u of x, it is x minus 1 whole squared. So it is x minus 1 multiply x minus 1. It is whole square, means 2 times the product will be taken. Then v of x, it is given to us as x squared minus 1, and the factors of this, if you can identify, it is in the form a squared minus b squared. So because it is a squared minus b squared, the factors can be a plus b into a minus b. So x plus 1 multiply x minus 1. Now the HCF, the HCF of these is the common factors which are to be taken. So it is x minus 1 as the common factor. LCM, if you need to take, what we do, the common factors, they are written once along with all the remaining factors. That is x minus 1 whole squared multiply x plus 1. Or instead of these, if you consider it like this, say the factors, this is taken as x minus 1 whole squared. This is taken as x plus 1 multiply x minus 1. The HCF, the common factor is x minus 1. In HCF, we take the factor with the least power. So here the power is 2 and here it is 1. So we are going to take x minus 1 raised to the power 1 as the HCF. And in LCM, what we do, the common factor which is there, we take the greater power of it. So it is x minus 1 raised to the power 2 in the LCM, along with the remaining factor, that is x plus 1. So this is our LCM, this is the HCF. Now let us cross check this, whether LCM multiply HCF is equal to UV multiply Vx or not. So first of all, let us take the left part of this, that is LCM multiply HCF. The LCM is x minus 1 whole squared multiply x plus 1. And what is the HCF? HCF is x minus 1. So what we get here? X minus 1 whole squared multiplied by x minus 1. Now if you see here, it will be x minus 1 whole cube multiplied by x plus 1. So this is the product which we get of LCM and HCF. Now let us check the product of Ux and Vx. U of x multiply V of x, the two polynomials which are given. So the first polynomial given to us is x minus 1 whole squared, and the second polynomial given to us is x squared minus 1. So here now x minus 1 whole squared will be kept as it is, whereas x squared minus 1, we can factorize it and it can be written as x plus 1 multiply x minus 1. So the final product of these two will be x minus 1 whole cube, because square of x minus 1 and x minus 1 will, when multiplied, it becomes cube of x minus 1, along with x plus 1. So here we see that the product of LCM and HCF and the product of these two polynomials, the result is same. Hence, this is proved. Or you say that hence this relation is true for this given expressions. So here, just let us have one more question, which says product of two expressions, product of two expressions is given to you as x minus 7 multiplied by x squared plus 8x plus 12. This is the product of the two expressions given to you. You are also given the HCF, which is equal to x plus 6, and you need to find their LCM. So here now we are given the product of the two expressions, we are given the HCF, and we need to calculate the LCM. The LCM is to be found. So we are going to use the same relation which we just used it in the previous question, which says LCM multiply HCF is equal to product of two expressions. The LCM multiply HCF. The product of LCM and HCF will be equal to the product of the two expressions. So here LCM we have to calculate multiplied by HCF, we are given it as x plus 6, and the product of two expressions is also given, which is x minus 7 multiplied by x squared plus 8x plus 12. So what is LCM here now? This x plus 6 will be on the other side upon x plus 6, means you will divide the right hand side by x plus 6. Along with that, you need to factorize this x squared plus 8x plus 12. Now here I'll just straight away write the the factors of this. X squared plus 8x plus 12. The factors would be x plus 6 multiplied by x plus 2. You do the factorization the same way by splitting the middle term, upon divided by x plus 6. So here if you see, this is common in both numerator and denominator, which will be simplified, and we get the LCM as x minus 7 multiplied x plus 2. And this x minus 7 multiplied x plus 2, you can also write it as x squared minus 5x minus 40. So this is the LCM of the required LCM which we need. Let's have one more question on this, the last question of this part, and rather you can also say that it will be the last question of the chapter. It will complete the chapter, the topic polynomials. So the question here is, you are given the HCF and LCM. There are two expressions. You are given HCF as x minus 5. LCM is given to you as x cubed minus 19x minus 30. Rather, it's not now here you are given HCF and LCM. What you have to do is you need to find the two expressions given to you, that is Px and Qx. You have to find them separately. Now here, these two expressions both are to be calculated. You are not given any of these. So what we do is, we are given the HCF and LCM, and we know that HCF is always a factor of LCM. HCF is factor of LCM. Always it will be possible. So here we are given the two HCF and LCM. So what we will say is, we will say that x minus 5 is factor of x cubed minus 19x and minus 30. Now here what we are going to do, because x minus 5 is the factor, so it means the x cubed minus 19x plus minus 30 can be divided by x minus 5. So we are going to divide it so that we get a quotient. The divisor is x minus 5. Dividend is x cubed minus 19x minus 30. Now here what you are going to do, because there are a term of x squared missing here, so we will take it as 0 x squared and then minus 19x minus 30. So let us divide it. The first term of the quotient will be x squared. You will have here x cubed minus 5x squared. Then you will subtract these two, where x cubed will be cancelled out. Then plus 0x squared and plus 5x squared gives you 5x squared minus 19x minus 30. Now we have to divide this expression by x minus 5. So the second term would be plus 5x, which gives you 5x multiply x as 5x squared and 5x minus 5 as minus 25x. Subtract these two, where 5x squared will be cancelled out. Now plus 25x minus 19x gives you 6x and minus 30. Now we have to divide these two, where we get the third term of the quotient as plus 6. 6 multiply x gives you 6x. Then 6 multiplied by minus 5 gives you minus 30. Converting the signs, you get the remainder as 0. So the LCM which we have, we are taking the LCM, that is x cube minus 19x minus 30. Now this LCM has been factorized into two factors. One is x minus 5 and the second one is x squared plus 5x plus 6. So x minus 5 multiplied by x squared plus 5x plus 6. Now here, if you see the factor x squared plus 5x plus 6, you can further factorize it, and factorizing it further, it is x minus 5. The factors of this expression will be x plus 3 multiply x plus 2. So we get in total 3 factors of the LCM. Now HCF is having x minus 5. LCM says it is x minus 5 multiply x plus 3 multiply x plus 2. Now we need the two expressions. Now here, how to identify those two expressions and what to do? We know that the product of these two expressions is equal to the product of LCM multiply HCF. The product will be equal to this. So the product of the two expressions become x minus 5 multiply x plus 3 multiply x plus 2 and again multiplied by x minus 5. So if you see here, the product of these two expressions is equal to the product of these four factors, these four expressions. So just to get the two expressions, what we are going to do is we will divide these four expressions into two parts. Say x minus 5 and x plus 3 as one part. So that will be your first expression, and x plus 2 and x minus 5 in the second part, which will become your second expression. So these are the two expressions which you have, and here x minus 5 multiply x plus 3. If you further multiply it and then write down, it will be x squared minus 2x minus 15. So this is one expression, and on the other side, x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 5 gives you x squared minus 3x minus 10. So this is your second expression. So this is what we have in the topic LCM and HCF. The rest will continue next in the next class. Till then, have a good day. Thank you all.